So at this point, you should have an animation that has 100 frames. Every 10 frames is labeled. You should have 10 keyframes now with the ball in different positions except for 9 and 10, which are currently the same. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a floor, and we do that by going to View, Rulers. You'll see a ruler pops up along the top. I'm going to click on the ruler itself. So click on the number and drag down, and I'm going to, this is called a guide. When we test or move it, you won't be able to see that blue line, but that's just to help remind us where the floor is. Here's a trick, a real quick tip for you. Right now, I'm going to hit Command C or Edit Copy. I'm copying the ball because I'm going to make changes and I'm going to need the original ball back. At this point, I'm going to take your free transform tool and I'm going to squash it so it looks like it's hitting the floor. I'm going to take this circle, this white circle, the pivot point, I'm going to put it on the floor. And I'm going to take the ball and I'm going to squash it down a little bit so it actually is going to look like it makes contact. Then I'm going to hit F6. Now here's a problem that many of you are going to run into, and let me show you how to fix it. If I hit F6 right now, my timeline is currently selected. See that blue goes all the way across? If I hit F6, it's going to give me 100 keyframes. I don't want that. So if that ever happens, Command Z or Edit Undo. At this point, I'm going to click on my current keyframe, select the next one down. You'll notice that I don't see the whole thing blue, only that one frame is selected, and now hit F6. I need the original ball back. So I can either try to match it, or I can delete it and edit, paste in place, and that'll give me the ball back. And at this point, I want it to start bouncing again. So of course, F6, we'll move it up. F6, move it up again. The trick to this is that the ball's losing momentum. So up 3 should not be as high as up 1. Up 1 starts off the page. So if the ball moves evenly and ends towards the top but not off the page, we're doing a great job. So we'll continue on. So F6, 6. Again, I'm keeping it pretty evenly paced. Now the smart ones out there are going to realize that we want it to start losing momentum before it starts falling. So right around frame 17 or 18, I'm going to start making the gap a little bit smaller between the frames because it's starting to reach the height of the bounce and it's starting to lose momentum. So it's going to kind of slow down a little bit. F6 again. I'm going to barely move it. I may decide on up 3 just to hold the ball there for a frame before it moves, so it kind of loses momentum, hangs in the air for a second, and then it moves down, and then I'll hit F6 and start moving it down. And we're going to repeat this process, and we're going to try to keep it nice and smooth. Every time it hits a down frame, we want to squash it a little bit. The smart kids out there will realize that we're going to squash it less and less and less because it's having less momentum. And then in the end, you should have a full animation of the ball bouncing 5 times, and then on frame 100, it comes to a final rest. So it's a lot. Go slow. Take your time. When you're finished, save it. Submit me the FLA file, and then we'll carry on from there. Good luck. See you in a couple days.